Yes. Hey guys, welcome. It's Erin here, and it's Monday, January 2nd. And I don't know about you, but I feel like all the fun is about to stop pretty hard after. But tomorrow morning, right, when it comes. So anyhow, thanks for coming on live, and thanks for everyone who's listening. We're here today. We're going to talk about the reset. It officially starts on January 9th. It's being put on by the company Isagenix. There's a special app you can download. We have a little community chat, but I thought some of us don't want to wait till the 9th. You're ready to get started. I know I am. I'm just ready to go. So hi, Karen, welcome. So we're just kicking off here. So here's what it's going to look like on the call here. It's nice that we only have a few of us on here. I know some are going to catch the recording. We're going to go through, first I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about like how to set like a really killer goal so that you're going to absolutely meet it. We're going to do a little plan and prepare so that you guys are all ready to go. And then I'm just going to get you to write out your goals a little bit later tonight. And we're going to do one homework assignment. And that homework assignment is going to be habits. So we're going to take tonight and just sit down and write out 4 or 5 habits that kind of crept in during 2022 or 2020 to 2022, some habits that you want to let go of and what you can replace them with, because it's the compound effect. It's not the one night that you go out and party or eat birthday cake it's not the one big thing. It's the little things over time. So we're going to really look at those and we'll talk about them. We'll aim to do 30 minutes here. So just welcome everyone. And you hear those people, you guys, and they say like set a word for the year, like gratitude, or set a word for the year. Well, that's really lovely. But I will tell you, I have had way more luck setting an intention for the year. So hear me out. So one year I watched the movie Book Club, and it had like this core group of women that were like besties, and they were like in their 70s, and they had been going to the same book club for like 30 years. And I was like, I want girlfriends like that here, because I had always moved. So that year I set the intention to create that circle of friends, right? And I did. That was my focus for the year. Like it was kind of my filter. There was the years that I set the intention to get into elite shape. I've had years where I've set the intention to work on my relationship with my daughters, set the intention to work on my relationship with my husband. So I find if you set the intention to work on one thing and just knock it out of the park, and then next year work on another thing, like let's nail it. And for me in 2023, the intention for me is to get back into elite shape, like not all this off and on bullshit that I've been doing. So for me, that's my intention for 2023, is to be back in, being back into elite shape, whatever that looks like at 51, right? 52. So does anybody want to share here, like, what is your intention, not only for this 30 days, but is it in the realm of health and fitness? Like, is it in wellness? Like, what is your intention? And I think that's one thing that you do want to write down, is like your intention for 2023. Tanya, I see you nodding. What is it for you?
For me, it's the sugar and flour and those things that like I literally binge on them, and it's not like a treat here and there. It becomes compounding, and it's
Okay.
I want to change the way I think about that. I don't want to look at it as I don't look at it as a treat. I know I don't know. That's what I want to delete from my world.
Yeah.
Is
So it sounds
that desire.
It sounds like it's a coping strategy, right? So maybe the intention, because I know you've let go of alcohol, which is amazing. So maybe the intention is to let go of using sugar and carbohydrates to deal with feelings.
Yeah.
But you can still go to a birthday, or if you had something, but letting go of, like, so maybe your intention is around letting go of using that to deal with emotions. Would that be like kind of what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Part of it is I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's deeper than that, or if it's really superficial, but it is, it grabs me, and takes hold of me. So, I'm not sure. It's almost like a self-sabotage, thing. That's, yeah, and I can be really, honestly, really on a good, a good roll and feeling healthy and starting to trim down and feel fit and strong and feeling good about that. And then I can trip up and go, I can take 10 steps backwards in like 4 days.
Mhm.
So I think that's where it's sabotaging my success.
Mhm. Can anyone relate to Tanya, to what she's saying? Yeah. And anyone has a
Uh,
question, like what you
definitely.
want to share? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
for
all
sure.
agree. One of the things that really helped me on my journey, and I'm still working on it, is the amount of time I spend off track instead of years, literally years, to months, to weeks, to days or moments. And then not only the duration, but the frequency, like how often and how bad. Like overeating now for me looks like a bowl of cereal late at night, whereas before it would be like a lot more often. So that's the good thing about when we do this 30-day reset. And I would suggest the fastest way to deal with it, you guys, is to track your food. So that's one of your challenges. I'm going to invite you for 30 days to track. I do use my Fitness Pal because I've used it for years. My Fitness Pal is great. It's worth the subscription. It has all of our Isagenix products in there. I track it. They now have a fasting feature on there. So I am also doing 16 and 8. So when I logged my first shake this morning at 10 o'clock, it said you have to finish by 6. So it does the fasting part in there with you. So, so Tanya's going to set the intention to work on sugar and stuff. And the fastest way I would suggest to do that is to track, right? And then look at what is the pattern, what feelings are driving that. Could be boredom, but if it's what we call fog eating, which is that light overeating, fog eating is cured by tracking. Okay, storm eating, which is like full on emotional eating, that is not cured by tracking. That is cured by being willing to feel emotionally uncomfortable and not eat, which is, not always fun, but not as hard as we think, because you're already doing it, right? Okay, who else has an intention that they want to share? Like, is yours around fitness? I know Lynn, like you're going towards your bodybuilding. Is that your intention for the year? Is the muscle? Lynn, yeah, Lynn Day. Oh, she's muted. Okay, she's going.
There we go.
Hi.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on a mission to get to where I have wanted to be for many, many years, and I'm in the position now that I can do it. And it's interesting because we can fool ourselves thinking like, I'm not good enough, or oh, I'm too old, or any of those things. But those are thoughts that have actually come from your past and have absolutely nothing to where you are right now. So it's making up your mind, just making up your mind. And my whole intention is to become completely wholesome in my mind and in my body, and how my spirituality is affecting me. We have to learn to let go of the past so that we can move ahead in our future. If you're back there, you can't go there. So that's my whole intention.
Oh, I love that. I just had a visual of like an anchor, like you're trying to move forward, but this pulling you back, it's like cut the ties, and you're right, Lynn. I don't know about you, Karen. I know Karen was a Isabody girl, and so was I. When you make that decision, is what Lynn said, making the decision is so key. Some people who are doing this reset have already decided that they're going to fail, or they've already decided they're going to succeed. Like they've already been started making excuses because we've all done it, right? You
Mhm.
kind of like pretend you're going to do it, but in the back of your mind. So decision, fully decide, fully commit, set the intention. What was like for you, Karen, because you became an Ice Body girl, you really made a massive change. So what do you think about all that?
Actually, you know what, Erin, I didn't. I was never Ice Body finalist, but what I was on stage a couple of times. So I
Yeah.
did bikini competition, and that was pretty much the most terrifying thing I could have done, right? So I spent most of my life really underweight. I didn't break 100 pounds till I had my first baby. I couldn't even give blood, and people thought I had an eating disorder, and it didn't matter what I ate. I went from that to carrying extra weight and really not having any capacity. And I know like lots of people don't feel sorry for people that are underweight, but it's something to deal with just as much as it's a weight problem, period. And I had no capacity to figure out what to do. Like literally my whole life, I had never had to think about what I ate. So I was like struggling big time. And
So what do you mean when you had to kind of lose some weight after kids and stuff like that?
yeah,
Was all new
yeah.
to you.
And for me, it was stress from a divorce and, being a single parent and like all kinds of, they're not excuses, but just the reality of my life was I switched from really not being able to eat when I was stressed to being able to using food to soothe feelings. So that was brand new for me. And I didn't know how to shut that off. And I struggle with that to this day still. But for me, that choosing that goal of getting on stage. So like I didn't wear shorts all through high school, or like I was just so self-conscious. So deciding to get on stage in a bikini was like literally one of the most terrifying things other than dying that I could do. And it motivated for me even now, like I need a firm goal. So for me, if I say, yeah, I want to tighten things up, I want to lean down, then when I start to get stressed and want to eat 5 Lindt chocolates, I'm like, I don't really have an end date for this. Tomorrow I'll start over. And it's true, you have to continue to start over. Every time you make a mistake, you start over. The only way to fail is quit. But without that firm date and that really big goal with a date attached to it, you can delay, procrastinate, So for me, it's having that thing that I'm working towards that's not movable.
I love it. So what is your intention then for this year and for this challenge?
I was gonna say back to like I'd like to get on stage one more time, but that's not really the goal. The goal for me is to find a way to maintain health and wellness without the pressure of that goal. Like for it to be important enough to me that I'm gonna really fuel and feed my body and take care of my body the way I should. And so there's that. And the second part for me is my intention is really to give it a really some true dedication with some goals for my business. Because I've been using Isagenix religiously since 2016 and seeing the results when I do the right things and I believe in it, and I've toyed with the business. And so I really want to make a true business for myself this year.
I love that. Well, the business starts with the story. I mean, guys, my 30-day system pictures, you've all seen them. That picture of my jeans made me $2.5 million, that picture. Your story matters, it sells. I invite you to treat this like a science experiment and just show up at 110% for the 30 days and do a science experiment. And that's what I did. I said, I'm going to do a science experiment. I'm fully in, I'm all in. And let's just see what I can do in 30 days. And then you take that story, and that's what will grow your business. And you're going to have a new story now, So Karen, that's really powerful. And I really respect what you're saying about the challenge and having a lifestyle. So here's my thought. Identity is the most powerful force in our psyche. So the identity of, like, I'm an athlete, I'm a woman who takes great care of herself. This is just who I am. Like, I don't eat crap. I don't eat fries. I don't overdrink. Like, having an identity, it's so easy to follow when that's your identity. Like Lynn has an identity as a non-drinker. So pretty simple. You know what I mean? It's like, this is just who I am. And I remember what that was like when I was really, for about 3 years, I identified as an athlete. It was like, well, of course I'm going to go to the gym, even though I'm at the cottage. I'm an athlete. I'm going to drive 20 minutes. I'm going to go to the gym. That's who I am. That's how I roll. It wasn't a matter of, well, should I go? It was like, okay, how am I going to get there? What do I do? So focus on maybe write that word identity. What's your identity been lately? And part of me, you guys, when I was doing the new way to age, I struggled with that because I didn't want my identity to be like a menopausal woman. I was just like, I'm not sure I want that to be my identity, you know? So it's like, what do you want your identity to be in 2023? Right? Someone who doesn't eat, like, I'm not really a sugar eater, you know? Trust me, I've had the party girl identity. I've had the athlete identity. Somewhere for me, it's in the middle, you know? So, and I've got to figure that out. Well, keep me posted on your fitness goals, Karen, if it looks like a show is in your future. And Lynn Day is doing one, so you guys can collab on that.
It's a scary thing. Like because there's no wiggle room, as you know, Erin, you've done it too. Like there's no wiggle room. You have to measure and everything, and you can't miss a thing. But it shows you how strong you can be. Like there's no, that feeling when you get to that day is incredible because you've had to work so hard.
And you're right. It's like, and if some of you want to dip your toe in that feeling and you don't want to put a bikini on and spray yourself with tan and wear plastic stripper shoes, you can do that with the Ice Body Challenge, right? It's 16 weeks. And you can decide to go all in for 16 weeks. Like, what is possible? What are you capable of? Like if you went on all cylinders for 16 weeks.
Well, worked for me last time.
Yeah, Krista, whoops. I just muted you by mistake. I was trying to mute a noisy line. Unmute yourself, Krista. Sorry. Like, what
Sorry,
are you? Yeah, go for it.
It's dinner time, so I apologize. I was chewing.
That's okay.
So yeah, so I've done several Ice Body challenges, but it was last January when both my husband and I signed up that I did really, really well, like really well for the 16 weeks. I was at my lowest weight since before having my children, which is 24 years ago. So, that was huge for me. But then, I didn't stay on the path. And even though I had signed up for the challenges, slowly the weight started creeping back on. So now I'm back to, basically I set myself back a year.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I have a much clearer picture this time. There's a lot of things. So I was on the call earlier today and they asked us to pick a word. So my word might seem pretty lame, but my word is better because I can use that word to preface everything in my world. Better choices, better eating, better lifestyle, better wealth, better health. So my word is everything needs to be better. So that's sort of, it's not the greatest, but I have nowhere to go but better. So I think that's really for me affirming and something that I can say, is this better? When I'm making my choices, is this the better choice? Is this the better meal? Is this the better, did I walk long enough? I can do better. I can't, so keeping that in the back of my mind as I go through this. And the same with Karen, I've been dabbling in the business. So now I want to build the business better as well. Right. So we've talked about that. And that's, really, really where I want to go. So I do have some goals in mind, but I know that not everything that we do is like based on the scale. So firming up more energy, better sleep. There's so many things. Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
I love it. So are you going to join the Ice the Body Challenge? Are you kind of,
I already have. Yep.
yeah, okay, great. Awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, it sounds like,
I also like that $200 because
yeah,
I love the product so much. It's the easiest thing to say yes to, in my opinion.
seriously, that's how Mary gets all her skincare, right? By the time it runs out, she gets all the skincare and whatever,
Yeah.
right? So,
Love the Celator. Love it.
yeah. Well, thanks so much. I'm super stoked for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's amazing what you can do when you follow the program. Like, it's just science, right? So, Heather, what about you? Where's your head at? How are you feeling about things?
Well, it really resonated with me when you just the very beginning when you said set your intention to work on one thing, because I find when I do challenges through different groups and stuff, I think I get overwhelmed because I have to drink all this water. I got to read a book. I've got to exercise. I've got to walk, and like there's just so much. And I think I'm guessing I get overwhelmed. And this year is my year of travel. So I have a set goal for me to at least, so when COVID hit, I stopped going to the gym, I stopped exercising. So my goal right now is just to exercise every day, regardless of what it is and for how long, just to move my body. And so I have this app, it's called 7 Minute Workout. It's a little mini app, and you can just turn it on and do 7 minutes quickly, like just, so if that's all it is that day, I'm going to call that a win. And so, and then now we're doing the 30 days. So all I have to do is do my 30 days and then focus on moving my body every day. And then I'm hoping, so what happened when I first jumped on board with Isagenix, it was to get rid of my migraines, and it did. But what I noticed is as I went in and started using the product and did my 30 days, all of a sudden I had more energy. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to start going to the gym. So it's a ripple effect, I think. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with me. So I'm just going to start really simple and just say, just get up and move my body once a day.
That's perfect. You know, that's kind of my advice. Like, set your focus, like do the full 30-day, follow the whole thing as best that you can for the month, and just do a little something for fitness that doesn't make you really hungry or overstressed or whatever. Like, there's lots of time. So get the 30-day under your belt with the 7 minutes or 10,000 steps or whatever people want to set, like a mini fitness goal, but nothing too crazy. You are going to get great results, everyone, just by doing your nutrition alone. And then you have some leverage for February, right? And then you can say, all right, well, now I'm here, I have more energy, I feel good. And now I'm going to up my fitness a bit. So I'll check out the app, Heather. That sounds great. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's they have little programs in it too. It's free too. It's really neat. So, and so it's just quick, like just before this call, I actually like, I'm going to do it. So you don't have to put your shoes on. Like, I'm going to do it. So I quickly did a 7-minute and I was like, good, now I need it.
Right. And do you see, guys, how Heather's identity is going to change to I'm a person that works out every day. Like, I exercise every day. When that becomes your identity, then you're like, oh gosh, like I'm a person that works out every day. So I got to go work out, right? Like, I got to move my body, or I move my body every day. That's who I am. That's how I roll. Then you do it. You just figure it out. So when you're in the airport, instead of sitting having a beer, you maybe would do a power walk around, then you'd sit down, right? So good job. Awesome. Okay, Karen Garrett, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year, everybody.
You too, Karen. So what's your intention? What's your game plan?
My intention is going to be consistency.
Ooh, good one. There's your word too.
Yeah, and everything I'm doing. So whether it's getting up in the morning at a specific time, just having that consistency, going to the gym, eating properly, limiting the alcohol intake, all of that. Just being consistent.
I love it. And then how are you going to feel? So everybody just think about this for a sec. How are you going to feel on February 1st? Like, what's that feeling going to be when you look back and go, holy cow, like I totally showed up. I was super consistent. I followed through. Like, what's that going to feel
Proud.
like? Proud.
Proud. Yeah.
Can you already kind of feel too physically how that's going to feel? I know I can. Like I woke up this morning and I could feel heaviness in my legs. I don't feel that when I'm eating clean and I'm taking care of myself. You know what I mean? You guys know that feeling? So awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Janet, we didn't hear from Janet yet. I think we've heard from everyone except Janet. Janet, what's your intention for the next 30 days? You're unmuted, I think. Oh no.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, am I unmuted? Can you hear
No,
me?
you're good. We can hear you.
Okay. Just to get back on track and get healthy again, I had another fall, so a fall and then a pull, so that resulted in a torn ligament. So it's kind of set me back a bit, and I've been on the pity wagon and stuffing my face and all the good stuff that goes with it. So I'm inflamed as hell. So it's just to get back on track and get better.
Okay.
Yep.
So are you going to follow the 30-day reset?
Absolutely.
Yeah. When do you want to start? Are you going to start right away?
I'm thinking, yes. Yeah, I haven't 100% decided on that, but I did follow a clean diet today, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, what I'm going to get you to do is write down your goals. Everyone has their method that works. Think back to a time in your life when you absolutely crushed your goals and recreate the process that you went through. I know the process that I need to go through. What's your process? Like some people draw pictures, some people write it down. So that's a personal thing, depending on how your brain works. So tonight or tomorrow, spend some time and think back to when were you absolutely crushing it and how did you start that? Like Karen needs a definite date, right? She needs firm guidelines, Karen Broder, right? You know, Karen Garrett, she usually has a travel something like that, you know, she's really determined. So figure out what is your strategy. I learned that from Tony Robbins. I went to one of his big events and he said, what was your biggest breakthrough in life? Write down the process that you went through to create that breakthrough. Now recreate it. So that's your homework. So if you have questions about that, like for me, I have to talk to a human. I have to get it really clear. I have to write it down. I have to spend time researching. I have to have clarity. I have to be able to visualize it. If I can't visualize it, I'm not going to get there. If I can't visualize it, I know I have a block. So I have to let go of the block, right? And then I need to be accountable. Like I need someone checking in with me, right? That really helps me. So you guys figure out what helps you. Okay, so that's number one homework. Number two, I want you to be friggin' ready. Like here is my water jug that like I used to use this, my big jugs. I pulled this out. I got my tea for my herbal tea because I can't be drinking at night anymore. So now I'm drinking tea, right? I have everything for my 30-day system. Okay. I haven't been on Ionics in a while. I have my Ionics here. I have a plan. My Ionics and my Super Mix are going to be my snacks. When I feel like going for a snacky snack, a sugar, a carb, a drink, I'm going to have my Ionics and my Super Mix, mix it together. That's going to be my snack. Okay. My Isocomfort, 2 of these at night. They go up beside my toothbrush, right? I've sort of been slacking on my Isocomfort. That goes up beside my toothbrush tonight, right? I have my shakes ready. I have my cleanse for life ready. Have you guys tried the snack bites? I'm using those for my cleanse days. They're really, really satisfying. So get all your stuff ready and organized. And if you don't have it, there's still time to get it. I thought I had the new natural accelerator, but I don't. So I'm going to order that today. But yeah. So does anyone have any like questions about like how to follow their 30-day. Like I'm doing it, my 2 shakes a day and my 600 calorie a meal. And I am tracking it in my Fitness Pal. I'm going old school. I'm tracking in there. Yeah, I love the bone broth. Yeah, as a sipper, really good idea. I am going to cleanse, double cleanse days 2 in a week. That's what I'm going to do for my fat loss. Like my focus this month is really just to do those double cleanse days. You guys don't have to do that, but so I'm pretty clear. Do you guys have any questions on the actual 30-day, like how to follow it? No. Who's a double cleanse a day? Who's a 2-day cleanser here? Anyone? Janet? Yeah. Yeah. That really targets that visceral fat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So our homework tonight is to, number 1, plan and prepare by writing out your goals. Think about the last time you had a massive personal breakthrough, and what you did to create that. And then recreate it now. Okay. Number 2, if you haven't downloaded the app for the reset, make sure you get that going. Okay. And organize all your products. Make sure you have everything ready to go. It also helps if you can plan out your meals during the week. Like if you work all week on a Sunday to do your groceries, to plan out your dinners, to get that stuff ahead. And then the last thing would be list out 5 habits that you've picked up over the last 1 to 2 years that you want to get rid of and you want to replace them. So one habit that I have is I've been watching way too much TV. I never used to watch TV. So I'm going to replace after supper with even a 10-minute walk. It's like Heather, it's not going to be long, but after supper, new habit, just a 10-minute walk, right? Does someone have a habit that they've picked up? My job, does that count for what? Let me look. Yeah, your job. Yeah, totally. If it's a breakthrough in your job, totally, if that's what you mean. Who has a habit that they've picked up since maybe COVID or something that they're like, what the heck? I got to get rid of this habit.
Scrolling.
Scrolling. TikTok is dangerous. I mean, that is designed to addict you into the scroll hole. Yeah. You could always set your timer for scrolling too. So you can say, I'm going to give myself 10 minutes to scroll and then I'm going to walk away from it.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that one.
Karen, would you have a habit you want to get rid of?
Oh my gosh, it's so many. Like TV too, like COVID, all of a sudden TV was a thing, right? Like, and just mindless eating. That's another thing. I think it's boredom. Some of it's stress, some of it's boredom. So like starting to pay attention before I put something in my mouth to why I'm doing that and whether it serves me or not.
Do you track?
I use my Fitness Pal. I used to. I let my paid membership go, but I think I need it back again. Because I just want, like, for anyone who's working out aggressively, like, I don't know if any of you are, but I found when I was working out aggressively, like 500 or 600 calorie martial arts class, or like 40 minutes of running or whatever it is, I had to add a little bit. Like the 600 calorie meal and 2 shakes was not enough.
Oh yeah,
So
like if you're
like half my calories, if I burned 500 calories, I kind of like add a 250 calorie snack, or I just wouldn't have gas in the tank.
yeah.
So
Totally.
I need to track to pay attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, if you're lifting heavy and you're really upping your fitness, if you feel physically hungry, like not just emotional eating hungry, like physically hungry, eat some protein. Like focus on adding protein. So the snacks that you do eat, have your boiled eggs, have protein around, right? Drink down some tri-release. But if you're just starting gently for the first 30 days, try to follow it if best you can. But everybody here should be eating around probably 14 to 1600 calories a day. I would say is roughly the amount that you're going to have, and you do your 2 shakes and, so I think, I don't know, Lynn, you can add to that if you have a thought, but I think, yeah.
Yeah, really, it depends on the individual for sure. I know what my goal is with all the shakes included. And because I know my system and each week I know where I want to hit. But you're 100% right. If you're not working out with the intention for real serious gain, you want to be very reasonable on your calorie intake.
Mhm,
You want to make sure that it's balanced.
mhm. And I
Yeah.
think this is the month of getting rid of the inflammation, guys, and resetting your cravings, resetting your habits, resetting your blood sugar balance. And then it's like, oof, okay, all right, you know what? I want to build some muscle. Okay, so you know what? I am going to increase my calories, but they're going to be good stuff. And I'm going to hit the weights more seriously here. And Lynn and I, we can help you with that, you know, and Karen too, people who've done this journey. But let's look at this month as like generally your reset, right? So we're going to reset some habits. We're going to get rid of the inflammation, the sugar, the booze. I'm going to I'll put a YouTube chat in my I'm going to go no alcohol for 30 days. I wasn't going to, but I am going to. So what I'm going to do is put a YouTube, what happens to you in 30 days when you go off alcohol? So I'll put that in your the chat for you, okay?
Hey, Erin,
Yeah.
what you're 16/8 fasting. So what time in the morning do you have your first shake?
So it depends, but like this morning, I had mine at 10. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my Fitness Pal automatically said, you close your eating window at 6 p.m. Right? So that's a little bit early, honestly, for me, but it is what it is. So, but that's a great new feature on the My Fitness Pal.
On the paid one.
On the paid one.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, boom, it just told me. So we have to be diligent to track your food when you eat it. But
right.
But tomorrow, like I'm doing a 2-day cleanse, but then I'm probably gonna have my first shake around 11 and finish up by 7.
Okay.
Right? Unless I'm doing some serious heavy weightlifting in the morning. We'll probably have to have it earlier. But
okay.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Something that I know for myself, and I've heard Erin say it forever about journaling. And I hate it. I've not been able to sit down because my mind has been racing way too fast between the past and the present to be able to focus on what do I even talk about. So mine is pretty in-depth what I'm doing. But with your journey for the 30-day, this is something I'm going to suggest to you is to track your thoughts every day. How are you feeling when you wake up in the morning? Do you want to eat like a horse, or are you not hungry at all? Have you drank your water? Well, why haven't you drank your water? So get to know who you really are through this journey so that you can be successful. And you look back at your journal and you go, holy shit, look at what I accomplished. Something I came across was called aesthetic journaling. And like this girl was really cool because I liked the click of her fingernails on the stuff she was doing. I really kind of like that. So I bought myself and my granddaughter a kit to do. I got it for Christmas. So I'm just going to show you because I'm a huge decorator. Like when it comes to holidays and stuff, I'm like super intense on it. So I've brought that into my journaling so that I'm being creative, and like my butterfly is my metamorphoses. And I write all of my basic day, like even my horoscope, how that's making me feel. It has been exponentially the best decision that I've ever done for myself. And then I know this seems a lot, possibly, I've got my big journal that I really track intensely, all of my feelings, and I do it almost per hour to see where the ebbs and flows are, so that I know what is holding me back from being successful. I've never delved into anything like this, but it is amazing what you'll find out about yourself on your hour to hour, day to day. You might not want to do hour to hour. I do because I need to if I want to get healthy emotionally. but things that are bothering you, write it down. Why is it bothering you? Is it because it's just a thought, or is it reality? Are the people that you've been associating with pulling you down, or are they encouraging you? And go through the different topics of, your emotions and relationships and eating and all of these things. There's 8 of them. If you want, I can post them for you, but take them and really dissect them, add it to the challenge this month. And then when you start to go, maybe I don't really feel like that, go back to the book. It's like, oh, right. This is the way I feel like that. This is why. Because a lot of times our past creeps in and says, no, don't do this and don't do that. And you don't even realize that's what's holding you back. So you've got to get out of your past if you want to get into the future. And you may have to release people in your life. You may have to release actions in your life. You may have to release family members even, for your own personal success. And I can tell you, doing this and then having my own fun, creative side to it I can't even begin to tell you what that's done for me. And I mean, you don't have to get that elaborate, but get yourself a little book. I remember Erin said 5 years ago, she had these cool little books. I'm like, oh, I want one of those. And I went out and bought it and I never used it. So you've got to find your way of doing this. But if you don't get in tune with who you truly are, ultimately, you will continue to fall backwards. That's what I got to say.
That's beautiful, Lynn. I mean, really what you're saying is self-awareness.
100%.
What are your trigger points? Like what is triggering you? And you'll know you're being triggered because you're not going to feel good. It's like you're walking around with this sort of pissed off feeling or insecure feeling or whatever. And it's just like
dissatisfied.
Yeah. And then you're like, hey, what is this really? And like, what am I feeling? Not even how, but like, what am I feeling? Okay, irritated. Okay, uncertain, overwhelmed. And what are the thoughts that are driving that, And that's the way out, you guys. That is mindfulness, right? That is inner peace. Go ahead, Lynn.
Be honest. Be just brutally honest with yourself. I am an alcoholic and I can't do anything about that. That's now a part of my physiology. If I have a drink, I have to know the person that I'm drinking with knows I'm an alcoholic so that they can go, oh, that's it, no more. Or let's go do something else. Be brutally honest with yourself if you want to be successful. It's amazing when you tell yourself who you really are and what's happened to you has affected you to this point. Now let's change that. You will feel the weight of 1,000,000 pounds come off your shoulders. Boy, could I ever go on about this. I've learned a lot.
Well, that's so good. The worst thing that's going to happen, everyone, is you're going to feel emotionally uncomfortable. That's it.
Right.
Not going to die. The world won't stop revolving. The worst thing that will happen is you will feel emotionally uncomfortable through the next 30 days. And you can handle any emotion.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like, I don't know if anyone else, this resonates with anyone else, but I've been emotionally uncomfortable for at least 2 years now. So that's not scary at all, Erin. Like I'm already there, right? Like life hasn't been sitting right. So it's time.
Yeah.
You need to figure out why. Yeah.
The 5 whys. If you don't know why, I always do the best writing exercise, and then we'll call it a day here, is the 5 whys, right? It's like peeling the onion really fast. Just get your partner or your friend or journal. Well, why am I feeling like this? Well, because of this. Well, why? And then why? And write it 5 times. And that's how you peel the core back and you get to the core belief or the core issue. And then from there, you can make your changes. So, yeah. All right, guys. So for those who started with me today or who are starting this week, I'm proud of you. Let's rock it. Let's stay strong. Let's support each other in the group. Let us know, check in there. Like, I need accountability. I'll be checking in there. For those who are like, no, I'm not there yet. I need a couple days to like get my mojo on. I'm proud of you guys too. Like, just do you. Figure out what's going to work out for you. Write down your 5 habits that you want to change. Write down your goals. And let's crush this. Okay. So
Yeah.
have a great night, everyone. I'll put this recording into our chat so that it stays with us and it's private. And we'll catch you in a couple days. Let's stay connected in the chat. Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Marcia, and everybody for your contributions in the chat. I'm just reading them. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.